This tutorial is for our SALs, our subject area leaders, as well as our team leaders. And it is going to talk about how to add your purchases for your group. So this is the Google Doc that Joanna sent out. And in here is a lot of important information about our purchase orders, including our due date, which is March 2nd for the international orders. And I added a little section here of how to place your order. And down below, this is where the online catalogs live. So this is how you might shop with your team for things that you might want to buy. This year, to help, not only am I making this little tutorial, but I have this helpful organization tool. This is not mandatory. This is just a Google Doc sheet that you can use. When you click on this, you're going to say make a copy. You can use this with your team in order to help organize yourself and your team members to add your orders in SAP. I know that maybe SAP can be a little confusing, or you have to put all your orders in a certain time. So this can help kind of check before you do that. So what it is, I just have the team member, whoever is requesting it. If you want that reference, you do not need to put this in SAP, but the item description is the name of an item that maybe you want. So if I was going to take these Legos, Early Simple Machines would be the name of mine. An item number, who is the provider, how many do you want, as well as the cost. I put cost in US dollars here because that's what most of our providers are giving us, but it will automatically convert into euros. We need to enter it in. So I have an example here ready for us that we can use. And so you can see I have my tech team here, things that they want, the item numbers, the cost in US dollars, and then the cost in euros. I also have this web link so that if you need to go back again, I can go check to make sure that that's really what we wanted. Or if you've given this to your team members, you can go look and see what that item is. Once you are ready to put your things into SAP, we'll enter the SAP program. I'm going to move this over so I can see the two things at the same time. And so now I'm in SAP. On the start page gives you a few tips. And this is just to know it's not automatically going to be saved. So when you enter things, you do need to push submit before you walk away from your computer. Prepare your orders in advance means don't be shopping while you're in the program because it will time you out if you're inactive. And yeah, just pushing submit often so you don't lose your work is what they're trying to let you know here. And also, we're doing the 18-19 school year, so be sure that we select this, and I'll show you how inside. So let's get to work on our orders. The first thing I want are these whiteboard spinners. So we can search within our program to see if we've already ordered that before. So here's whiteboard spinners. And look I found this right away. Educational Insight Spin Zone Magnet Whiteboard Spinners. That's what I wanted. I can double check with the product code 1297773. It's the same. This is really easy, so I can just select it and say I'm going to add this item to my cart. Now here's my cart. And here you do need to add the unit cost because that could change every time. Remember, we add the euros. Although the website provides dollars, look at your Euro Trends currency converter, 1969, and that is the unit cost that you will need to enter. We want to have 2 of these maybe. So I put 2 there and I would automatically add the total. Now, the most important area in your cart is selecting the division, the program, and the academic year. Don't forget these 3 areas every time you enter something. Double check them. What this does is it tells who to send this to. If I'm sending this to elementary school, I'll select the elementary division. And I'm maybe a homeroom teacher, so I select ES. This means it goes to Jeremy for approval. If you do not select this and you leave it as default, it could go to Paul, it could go to Ferran, and they would delete the item, and then you'd have to do it again. So please be sure that you select your division and your program. Also, the academic year. This comment bank is just for your division leader to know what you're ordering. So I'm going to say whiteboards, small group whiteboards for humanities, for example. Now I can go back and add another item into my cart. You don't need to do submit each time. You can get a few going. I want to get this whole order in. So I'm going to say add a new item. And this time I'm looking for the Lego set. So it's Simple Machines. So let's see if Simple Machines is in here. I know it's not. So I've checked by this, but I could also check by the product number. That's why I find that sheet really helpful, so you can go back and forth. Whoa, a couple things popped up here with this item number. However, they're not what I'm looking for when I read the description. So I'm going to have to add a new item that's not in our SAP. So I'm going to add a new item down here. I'm looking for the provider Legos, which is not in our system. So I'm going to say other suppliers. The reference number was 9656. I enter that again. And the item description was its early simple machine set. And I'm just going to copy it and paste it in. And the supplier was Lego Education. Once I click Add New Item, it will go in my cart. Again, I need to indicate the unit cost, which is not the US dollars, is the euro, 129.48. The quantity, which this time I just want 1. Now I could push Submit, but wait. By default, it went back to the first 2 on the line items that are defaulted here. We do not want this to go to Chris Tarango because she'll delete it out of our item if I'm an elementary school teacher. So I select elementary school. And again, don't forget the program, elementary school. The comment automatically came in from my supplier. I'll leave it just as it is. I'm going to double check my academic year is 18-19. And now if this is everything in my cart, which it's not, but for this example, I'm just going to say it's done. You can put a comment on your cart. So maybe I'm going to say orders for part 1, humanity programs in, well, this is for ES. I will say grade 2. All things that we need for literacy, for example. When I'm all done with this order, I can push submit. Now remember, you can submit several orders. Keep track. I would keep track on here on your list of which ones you submitted so that you know. And then I can just say submit. Mine is a test, so I'm not sure if this is even going to go through because I don't have order access. But that is a summary of what you need to do overall. Remember the main things to not forget is the division, the program, and the academic year. Again, before you push submit, division, program, and academic year. So happy ordering, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.